So this is more of a secret to the police. If there's any of you out there, you might want to call the SWAT team to kick through these windows, tackle me or something. But I'm going to be open with you, and please, have mercy. So, maybe 3 years ago, I rode my bike from Long Branch, New Jersey to West Texas, and along the way, I got into some compromising situations, and things happened, and I was drunk on moonshine. I hadn't even drank moonshine before. I don't know. Things got wild out there. I was on the road. I was sleeping next to dumpsters outside of Walmarts. I was trying to find speakeasies in these Tennessee dry towns. Things got wild. So I met this guy, Tim Woods. He was a pro golfer from Australia. I was staying at a campsite, and he was like, his dog was nice. His dog came over and said hello. And so we started talking, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna walk around the woods and look for some peyote. We're gonna check out this desert and see if anything is happening. And he was like, yeah, I'll go with you. I kind of know what that looks like. We're like, all right. He's like, plus I got a knife. I was like, perfect, you're with us. So we walk out into the desert. I said woods before, I was wrong. We walk out into the desert, and we're looking for anything that's grown small to the ground, cutting it and eating it. And nothing's happening. We're drying it in his grill, and we're smoking it. Nothing's happening. We're like, all right, whatever. So we leave. Actually, we smoked some pot out of his a bowl that he found in the park that we were in. And then I was riding my bicycle, and then we rode our bicycles, me and my buddy Matt Beck, who is not here this evening, but he attends sometimes. We rode high. We went and saw this place where a bunch of people got hung or shot. It was wild. It was crazy. Then a couple towns later, we're riding by, and we hear someone honking, and we're like, screw you, we're just biking, because it's usually the good old boys on Friday nights that drink in these, southern towns, and they're like, woo, you're on a bicycle, a**hole! And I'm like, okay, don't run me down. And, but it's Tim Woods, the guy that we saw a couple, maybe 100 miles east of where we were. And he's like, hey, what's going on? You guys want to go to Big Bend, which is this big national park in Texas, on the bottom of the Panhandle. If you know what Texas looks like, I'll give it to you this way. And then it's something like this, and then I don't know what goes on up here. But okay, and so it's in the Panhandle, and it's on the bottom. It runs right along the Rio Grande. Mexico is right across the Rio Grande. We're swimming, we're swimming in the Rio Grande, and he's like, hey, ever find that peyote? We go with Tim Woods in his car, and he's like, no. And then this guy across the lake, a Mexican man sleeping in a hammock, totally picturesque, everything that you imagine is true, selling walking sticks, it's amazing. He's like, ask him, or whatever. So one of us was like, hey, do you have any peyote? And he's like, ask for pot. And I was like, all right, do you have any pot or peyote? And we traded him cans of soup. He walked across the Rio Grande. We traded him cans of soup and maybe some noodles or potato chips for pot and peyote. I tried to do peyote every way. I heard it might have been done. I didn't really look it up. I'm not really a drug head. But tried it a bunch, didn't work out. Smoked some pot, freaked out. It might have worked. I was sitting in the tent and I was like, I don't want to go outside because I may eat an animal I find. I didn't know what. I'm going to play it safe and hang out in the tent. So we go back, and the border is 10 miles in from the actual border of Mexico, and the cops pull us over, and he has pot hidden in this car, and I'm like, oh, is this a good idea? And so they pull us over, and they're like, yeah, why don't you guys sit on this bench over here while we have our dogs sniff your car? So there's these dogs sniffing the car, and they're like, "What's this?" And he was like, "Mushrooms. They're delicious." And so I smuggled drugs across the Mexican border by accident. It was Tim Woods. He did it. Sorry.